to beautiful downtown Omaha, Nebraska. The CHI Health Center is open for business, and the anticipation is rising in Omaha after an Elite Eight appearance last year. Jays fans have their minds on the Final Four. Good evening, everybody, and welcome courtside in Omaha alongside my partner and friend Nick Bahe. I'm Kevin Kugler. So great to be with you tonight to start off the season for the Jays, a season hugely built on expectations and surrounded by what they hope will be the biggest of the big three.
And arguably the best big three in the country, and Ryan Kalkbrenner, Trey Alexander, and Baylor Scheierman. You bring up that Elite Eight loss. I think that has a little bit of revenge on the minds of those three superstars for Creighton to get their ticket all the way punched to Phoenix for the Final Four.
As we check out tonight's starting lineup, sponsored by Jeep, there's only one, and a lot of eyes on not only the big three, but number one in the backcourt, that being the new point guard, Stephen Ashworth.
The Utah State transfer is an elite three-point shooter. He made 111 threes last year for the Aggies. Keep an eye on him running the show and knocking down shots.
When Ryan Nembhard left, and a bit of a surprise, leaving for Gonzaga, the Jays got into the transfer portal and immediately were able to secure Stephen Ashworth, one of the best point guards in the portal.
Yeah, when you combine talent with fit,
4-2 lead.
Always important on the road in an environment like this to get off to a good start. And Florida A&M has done that.
Ashworth again, this time his first 2 points as a Blue Jay.
I think you're going to see
Alexander, a little bit of a blow by, got to the rim, past Hans-Louis June. Leave it for Kalkbrenner. The Jays will get reorganized with Alexander. Scheierman, first three, off the side of the backboard. And now diving for it as Kalkbrenner gets the turnover.
Got numbers.
Alexander out to Ashworth, toes the line for the three.
Great hustle from Kalkbrenner to dive.
Scheierman. No more flowing locks this year for Baylor Scheierman.
No.
Alexander going to work against Lamar.
He can play on the ball more often, especially with Ashworth's ability to shoot.
Nice find, but Kalkbrenner there for the rejection. His 100th career game, and the outlet to Scheierman for the flush. Game for Ryan Kalkbrenner on the offensive end.
Next, I think as he went through the NBA draft process, it's something that the scouts do want to see. And he's a good free throw shooter. He's got natural touch.
And Alexander's got a little touch at the rim.
A whole lot last year, but keep in mind, at the end of his freshman year, he ran the point guard for the final month of the season, looked really good doing it. Well, you talk about him having a big year. I think it's the ability to run the point in spurts that's going to really help him.
And the lob inside the King, got his own rebound, puts it up and into the foul. When you saw Trey Alexander, the
flip up to Frederick King, and a nice second jump from the sophomore from the Bahamas.
And you remember that was in February when Nembhard was injured at St. John's. And the Jays had no other options. He did a nice job. Good find. Scheierman's three is good.
Scheierman, you're hoping he now, good looking stroke from Scheierman.
And he wasn't exactly a slow shooter before, but to think of that shot being quicker is impressive.
Yes.
Alexander weaving hard bounce inside to King. Good defense by Chase Bars, but King a little stronger.
That's 4 points from Fred
Alexander. Scheierman. Here's Trout. He can hit that. Rebound tipped around, poked out. Farabello keeps it alive. He'll try the three.
Boy, Kevin, a lot of 50-50 loose balls.
Nice touch inside from Jadarius Eatman. There's Alexander. Scheierman starting to feel it. And there's the three. A little kiss to the Creighton Blue Jays radio announcer, John Bishop, as he ran backwards. Gonna do. Grant working inside against Kalkbrenner. The tip won't go, and Miller controls the rebound. Now Ashworth. Alexander already 10 points for the Jays. Going to work, whips that pass out to Ashworth for 3. And Ashworth with 8 early.
And with the pick and roll defense, but you can't forget about the big fella.
Here's Kalkbrenner. Pushed out with the double. Now the rotation around. Extra pass. Ashworth, the open man. Alexander will try the 3 with 2 to shoot, and he hits it from deep. 13 for Trey Alexander.
That's a Gatorade Player of the Year. But he was a ball boy at games. He grew up loving Creighton basketball.
Kalkbrenner double comes again. He'll pop out this time. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Ashworth. Got an open look, and he hits the 3. Double figures in his Blue Jay debut. He's got 11.
Last year, 14th. Yeah. I mean, they were one of the best defenses in college basketball. Now, they got Kalkbrenner back, but it's a little bit different group.
Shireman, there's that quick shot you were talking about, Nick, and an offensive rebound for Kalkbrenner, who's finally on the board with 6.5 to play in the first half.
I'm going to politic and be shooting. He said, yeah, just can't forget about Kalkbrenner inside.
Well, one of the reasons you're open as a shooter is because of Kalkbrenner inside. There's that double that came at him. Shireman, the open man as a result, and he hits the 3.
I mean, this is such pretty basketball. But that's a good, that's a Kalkbrenner touch. A track 2, pace, threes, offense.
Are you saying the Let It Fly Jays may be back this year?
I think so. I mean, it's crazy to say out loud that three-point shooting was kind of an issue the last couple of years.
And there's the first 3 for Isaac Trout and his first collegiate points after redshirting last year at Virginia. Alexander sets the screen. Now Ashworth will reset the offense. Here's Shireman. Got a glimpse. That one a little strong, and there's Trout for the offensive board. 9th offensive rebound for the Jays, and Shireman baseline scoop for 2. Goodness gracious, the Jays by 30. Here's Alexander. 13 first half points for Trey Alexander.
And running the point again. Farabello at the 2, and Jonathan Lawson, the Memphis transfer, in at the wing.
There's Alexander, the jump stop and the finish. He's got 15.
It's his best shot
on the board. First 3-pointer of the night for Florida A&M.
So a massive advantage from the 3-point line for Creighton.
Alexander trying to get it back, and he does. Trey Alexander with the tray to stretch it to 18.
10 made threes.
Alexander to work against Lewis Jr. Just had his pocket picked.
One of the few set plays. I haven't seen a lot of set plays from Creighton.
Kalkbrenner inside. Singled up this time. And the hook shot almost impossible when he gets in that position to stop.
So what do? I mean, Creighton's
program history before falling to San Diego State. And this year, they've got their sights set even higher. Greg McDermott's team returns 3 starters, including 2-time reigning Conference Defensive Player of the Year and Ryan Kalkbrenner. He's a good two-way player, gets it done down low on defense and offense. This is a team that lived up to expectations last year, getting to the Elite 8. How do they follow up this year?
Stephen Ashworth's a nice add-on after losing Embard, who's a terrific penetrator, pushing the ball up the floor. Trey Alexander, we forget about him on occasion, and Baylor Shireman. Offensively, I just love the way they play, and Greg McDermott's ruining his reputation. They actually started guarding the last couple of years. This is a team that you got to score a lot of points if you want to beat them.
You do, but Ashworth, you think about this. Greg McDermott said if his skill set fits what we do, meaning he's going to push, he can play the pick and roll, he can knock down open shots. Isaac Trout, who was Nebraska Gatorade Player of the Year, chose to go to Virginia. Now is back in the fold, 6'10", and for me, that's a quality backup to Kalkbrenner, because we know sometimes Kalkbrenner can get in foul trouble, but now you have a paint protector inside that can pick and pop as well.
They have wonderful role players, but all of this works because of Ryan Kalkbrenner. He is the centerpiece of this team, and Bill, made a joke about we think about Creighton now as a defensive team. The last 2 years in a row, this has been a top 25 defensive team in the country. Coach McDermott did not have that at all in any of his previous 9 or 10 seasons before Kalkbrenner got here. And Ryan is improving as an offensive player. He's not necessarily a guy you throw the ball to and say, hey, go win us a game, but he can do it on occasion. And he's the one that allows all the perimeter players like Trey Alexander, Stephen Ashworth to be aggressive on the perimeter, because if they get beat, you know who's going to erase the shots on the deep end. It's Ryan Kalkbrenner.
He is definitely a player there.
You know, we forget about Farabella.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
It's another year here now, and he had a great trip, terrific jump shooter, three-point shooter at TCU last year. So now he's a different kid.
Well, I'll say this too, Mike, in the panel here. What was big about them, Trey Alexander owning who he was or who he is in regards to being able to feel comfortable taking the big shot when it was necessary. And you need that kind of player to take the pressure off everybody else. But I think he has another step in his game that he can continue to grow at, in particular in this offensive set with McDermott.
They did lose Arthur Kaluma and Ron Nembhard. They got to replace that playmaker right there. They have won 20 games, at least 20 games for the last 8 straight years. See what they do and take that next step to the Final Four this season. That's all for now.
He's had some moments in this game. You can tell Keith Lamar's got a chance to do some damage in the SWAC this year. I totally agree. Good athlete. Ashworth's 3 is good. Speaking of doing damage, Ashworth is going to do some damage in the Big East this year. So role like Ashworth has done.
And it's different. You know, Utah State, he was the man. The ball was in his hands. He was the leading scorer.
And there's a 3 from Mason Miller to get on the board with his first points of the year. Alexander from the logo with the fadeaway, and Alexander with 20. So effortless. Kalkbrenner tracks that rebound down. Ashworth looking to push. Miller open on the wing. Second 3 for Miller. And another weapon for the Blue Jays.
It's what he does. I mean, it's what he does best is
Shoot to Lamar. The 3 rebounded by Shireman. He'll start it up the floor. Kalkbrenner running. Reward the big fella. Way off the mark, and Alexander with rebound number 6. Shireman, the lob in. Good pass underneath to Kalkbrenner. Nice. That run comes to a close on Hans Lewis June's bucket from inside. Here's Kalkbrenner. Ashworth will try from deep, and he'll hit again. 5 of 7 from Farabello. Instead throws it to Farabello. Farabello, rotation around to Doetzler. Inside, count the bucket, and the foul. And a Doetzler in the scoring column again for the Creighton Blue Jays. This time, Josiah Doetzler. His brother Josh ran the point at Creighton, and now younger brother Josiah on the board.
a SWAC team. There's some pretty big bodies on this Florida A&M team.
Grant's got some time on task as Trout's 3 falls. Farabello. I caught it. I heard it. I liked it. Nine to shoot. Doetzler for 3. He hits. About another 3-point shooter. Doetzler's first. No Jordan Hawkins, no Andre Jackson. I mean, there's some key cogs from that national title team that are gone.
No doubt about it. I mean, those were basically your 3 best players.
Spins away. Extra pass to Trout. Open 3. Won't go. Lawson tracks down the offensive board for the Jays.
Creighton played hard tonight, hadn't they? They have really tracked down every 50-50 ball seemingly gone to Creighton.
And still playing hard in a lopsided game as Farabello finds an open path for 2.
Meat here. That's going to be a heck of a game.
I'll bring an extra lozenge or 2 for that one.
Yeah.
We may be doing a lot of talking, maybe a lot of running.
Certainly, Fran McCaffrey, just every year, you know, he finds a way to find a new. Both Murray brothers are gone, and he finds a different guy to take years.
It's always fun when those two teams meet.
I'm telling you, Kevin.
I know.
That Justin Moore is back, Eric Dixon's back, and the Cal Neptune went into the portal and not only found 3 talented guys, but guys that fit perfectly. TJ Bamba of Washington State.
Ooh, and the lob, the alley-oop, a little oops instead as Lawson's 3 answers. How about Lawson cleaning it up with his first 3? And the
transition defense better be on point because both teams will get out and run.
The posts are the only 2 guys without a 3 tonight. Kalkbrenner and King.
Come on, Frederick King.
Or Bello. Oh, King wasn't quite ready for it, but a good job to secure it. And King.
Foul on Ryan Nembhard with about a second left. Sent the Aztecs to the free throw line and ultimately to the Final Four.
The 3 is good, and Trout into double figures. 12 points, 6 rebounds. Welcome home to the Nebraska native. Final 10 seconds of this one. Parker, the 3 won't go. Ball rebounded by Lawson, and the Blue Jays open with a bang. 105-54 the final. Creighton dominates this one, Nick Baugh. An impressive start to the season.
Unbelievable offensive display. Started with the three-point shot, 18 made threes, but Creighton's pace and aggression in the open floor just allowed them to find easy baskets. It was a pretty good season opener for Greg McDermott's crew.
Tied 22nd most points in program history for the Blue Jays tonight. 105-54 the final. 4 Blue Jays in double figures as they go 18 of 38 from three-point land. It's going to do it from Omaha. Tonight's final score 105-54. But after the break, we send it back to our Fox studios in Los Angeles. Mike Hill and the boys with more college basketball talk as we kick off the season. For Nick Baugh, I'm Kevin Kugler. You've been watching College Hoops on FS1. Studio next.